This morning, the WIAA's new rule on transgender athletes. We have reaction.
Plus, the search for a missing 16-year-old continues. New photos released of the missing teen and the suspect.
And a Wisconsin family awarded millions after childbirth complications. What the jury found and why this case is so rare.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to News 3 Now. This morning, it's Thursday. I'm Kyrie Unley.
I'm Chris Stanford. You feel it warming up out there?
Well,
Slowly.
This morning it really felt, I know it's a little bit warmer, but it really felt, it was just as painful as it was two mornings ago. So, but we are on the upside of things.
Our wind chill's only at -4 though this morning, guys.
Only right? -4.
Hey, it's an improvement from that -35 we had 2 mornings ago. So, in our air temperature, it's positive. We're at 6 now this morning, and that will continue to warm. But yeah, we do currently have a wind chill. That hasn't been the case the last couple of hours, but now with the winds continuing to increase, we're at 6 miles per hour. That's still light, but enough to drive a wind chill to be factored in at the airport. Your sunrise at 6:47 in the morning, and temperatures will reach the lower 20s this afternoon. We still have one more cold night to get through. This is our overnight lows heading into early Friday morning. Still expecting us to drop to about 0. Some of us northwest and west of here a little bit cooler, and -1, the forecast low in Madison. But after that, the warm up will continue, and we don't have any negatives in the forecast either, which is some positive news.
All right, Savannah, talk to you soon. The WIAA has banned transgender girls from competing in girls' sports.
Executive Director Stephanie Hauser announced the board has voted to comply with new federal directives. The decision follows similar action by the NCAA earlier this month. Republican lawmakers who previously pushed for a statewide ban have praised this move.
Yes, I am elated. And I will tell you, we planned on reintroducing the women in sports legislation. I'm glad the WIAA joined the NCAA and used some common sense, keeping women's sports for women.
The WIAA does not keep a tally of transgender athletes, so no one knows how many students will be affected. Brian Jukums is the Senior Director of Education and Policy at G-Safe. It's an organization committed to making schools a safe place for LGBTQ plus youth. He says the number affected isn't the biggest issue.
The number is likely very small, but I think what's really important is that, trans kids, like any kid, just really want to be part of a team, right? Adopting a rule that says you can't be part of that team, that's harmful to our kids, and that teaches the wrong lessons to their teammates.
This policy repeals a previous WIAA policy enacted in 2013. It states denying a student the opportunity to participate on a sports team consistent with his or her gender identity is likely prohibited sex discrimination.
Beaver Dam police are still looking for missing 16-year-old Sophia Franklin. We now have some new images of both Franklin and the suspect, 40-year-old Gary Day. The Amber Alert for Franklin is in effect in 3 states this morning still: Wisconsin, Arkansas, where Day is from, and Missouri. Franklin is several months pregnant, and police say Day is the father. He is charged with child enticement and child abduction. If you know where they could be, call Beaver Dam Police.
A trial date is set for the man accused of killing a UW Whitewater gymnast. Online court records show that a jury trial for Chad Richards will begin in December. Richards is charged with first-degree intentional homicide after allegedly shooting gymnast Kira Welsh 8 times in August of last year. Prosecutors say Richards and Welsh were in a relationship at the time of the shooting. The two had gotten into an argument the night before. Richards claims Welsh grabbed the gun first and he took it away before shooting her for fear of his own life. Richards faces life in prison as a maximum penalty.
2 candidates advancing in the race to become Wisconsin's top education official. Incumbent Jill Underly and education consultant Brittany Kinzer were the top 2 vote getters in Tuesday's primary. They'll have power, one of them will have power over education policy, funding for schools, and teacher licensing. The fight in the race, in part, is taking shape around testing standards.
Jill Underly is unapologetic. She lowered the standards for our children and claims to have no regret about it.
And I stand by it. I'm going to be very clear. She's misstating the truth. It's a political year.
State superintendent is a nonpartisan race. However, Underly is backed by Wisconsin Democrats and Kinzer is favored by Republicans. Both candidates are now looking to pull in Jeff Wright's more than 100,000 votes as their own.
A jury has awarded $10 million to a Racine family. It comes nearly 6 years since their baby sustained lasting brain damage during birth. Monica Cerna says her labor wasn't moving fast enough, so doctors gave her Pitocin to speed things along. This drug is often used to safely induce labor, but it can cause lasting damage if not monitored properly. A jury agreed with the family's attorney that standard of care with regards to Pitocin was not followed in this case.
It's an emotional thing for me to speak on, because I love her and I wouldn't change her. I mean, I want her to have a normal life, but yeah.
It's totally preventable, and it's not anybody's trying to hurt anybody else. It's truly carelessness, negligence.
This is a significant ruling. The family's legal team says juries typically rule in favor of hospitals and medical teams more than 90% of the time.
According to the Department of Agriculture, more than 40% of the country's farm workers are undocumented in Wisconsin. More than 10,000 undocumented migrants work at dairy farms. At 18, Kevin crossed the border illegally from Mexico. He now works in Wisconsin and at a John Rosenau's farm. Kevin says he often works 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, sometimes starting as early as 3 a.m. But he says the pay is better than back home. Rosenau is a fifth-generation farmer. 90% of his workers are immigrants. And he says if all undocumented immigrants were deported, he would likely go out of business.
If I hired Americans to do the work, I would have to pay probably about $100,000 a year per person, and they would only work 40, 50 hours a week. I would be out of business within 6 months.
Rosenau says he fears for the future. Meanwhile, Kevin does not. Kevin says 4 years ago he was scared to go out and buy groceries when Trump said that he would deport all undocumented immigrants. But Kevin says it never happened.
In national news this morning, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has joined efforts to rescind termination letters for critical jobs. More than 700 CDC employees have been fired since Friday. The CDC now joins the Agriculture Department in attempts to revoke terminations. The USDA says they were working to rehire employees working on the ongoing bird flu outbreak.
A federal judge in New York must decide whether to drop the federal indictment against New York Mayor Eric Adams. The Justice Department has asked that the 5 counts be dropped so the mayor can devote his attention to carrying out Trump's immigration policies. Critics say the Trump administration's intervention in the case means that Adams will be under the president's thumb. 8 federal prosecutors have resigned in protest, and 4 of Adams' deputies are saying that they'll step down. Adams, meanwhile, insists that he is not going to step down and, in fact, is planning on running for re-election. Our Spirit of Service campaign is underway. News 3 Now is partnering up with Vortex to honor our local veterans making a positive impact. You can nominate a veteran in your life doing something good. Just go to channel3000.com. And over the coming weeks, we'll share their stories. Then you can vote on which veteran will win a $5,000 cash prize. We'll announce the winner in early April.
6:07, the first custom-built electric fire truck is now in Madison. It's fresh off the production line at Pierce Manufacturing in Oshkosh. Fire Station 8's new Pierce Volterra electric pump has a 246 kilowatt-hour battery, 0 emissions pumping, and backup power from a combustion engine. Madison first tested the electric engine back in 2021. The fire department worked with Pierce to refine and certify the technology. Now it's officially part of the fleet, marking a new era in firefighting.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, so let's check in with Savannah to see what we can expect as you head out the door.
Well, the next couple of days are going to be cooler than what we have seen or what we will see in the next couple of days, and dry, but we'll time out the next chance of rain and snow.
Also ahead, we're tracking.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
We're back at 6:11, and it's Thursday morning, which means we are working for the weekend in the 608.
That means you know who is here, Josh Brenner, to plan your weekend for you. You got it covered.
Oh my gosh, you guys ready for the weekend?
Yes,
It's been a long
Bring it
week.
on.
It has been
I
a
feel
long
like it
week.
should be
Cold.
Friday
The
already.
cold just sucks it out of you.
I know.
It's just draining.
I'm like all cooped up inside. I'm like ready to get out, get some fresh air. So hopefully we'll make that happen for you. I have 3 things for you to do this weekend with your family. If you're not a fan of winter, I know this brutally cold week has been a long one for some some folks. Here's a sure sign. Spring is on the way. The Wisconsin Fishing Expo kicks off Friday through the weekend at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison. Show hours on Friday are 1 to 8, Saturday 9 to 7, and Sunday 9 to 4. Admission is $12 for adults, and kids 12 and under are free. The Wisconsin Fishing Expo is among the largest fishing consumer shows in the Midwest, with lots of family fun involved as well. Well, if you're still thinking winter, you can head to Paoli on Saturday or Sunday afternoons to get festive and frolic at 7 Acre Dairy's first winter carnival. Tickets for this are for adults, $10, $7 for kids, and those 3 and under are free. This ticket includes a live music, a petting zoo, outdoor activities, polar dip, sauna, and a hot cocoa bar. There will also be some things to purchase too and support local businesses. A portion of those proceeds will benefit Belleville EMS, who will be on site hanging out with families and talking about their important work. And happening Saturday afternoon from noon to 4, you can snack your way through downtown Sunny P. They're back for another delicious year of celebrating 2 favorites, chocolate and cheese. You can enjoy samples of sweet and savory treats served at various downtown Sun Prairie businesses. Organizers say it's a great way to explore and support the community. Tickets are limited, so get yours before they're gone. They run $20. For more ideas this weekend in the 608, just go to channel3000.com. So we got some indoor events, got some outdoor events.
We gotta love a good mix.
Yes, whatever you want, we got it for you.
Chocolate and cheese.
Are we the only ones who call it Sunny P, or do they actually call it Sunny P?
I've heard other people call it
Other
Sunny
people
P
have called
too,
it
yeah.
Sunny P
I'm like,
too.
did you guys make this up?
I love the name Sunny P.
It's just like, it's a bright spot,
It is.
right? Like,
Just
and every time
makes
I
me
go
smile.
there, it's, yeah, exactly. It makes me smile. It's
Yeah.
a good place.
I would like to do a survey with the people of Sunny P then to find out
Maybe we
exactly
need to
what they're
do,
calling it.
some sort of Facebook question.
Some Facebook,
yeah.
right. And Paoli, awesome.
Oh my gosh, 7 Acre Dairy Company. If you haven't been there yet, that's another one to put on the list. So,
All right, you guys got me plenty of things to do.
Keeping you busy.
Yes,
Thanks,
Josh,
Josh.
thank you.
You bet, guys.
Josh is always looking for inspirational stories to share with you folks at home. Got an idea for them? Reach out, let them know about it. All right, let's check in with Savannah Burrito now. And your first one forecast, a little bit of a wind out there this morning.
Yeah, we do have winds that are slowly increasing. Driving again, wind chills to be factored in. Madison, -4 degrees. Our air temperature, though, that's positive and closer to 10 degrees than 0 at this point in time. -18 in Janesville, -20 in Monroe. We're at -7 in Lone Rock. Overnight temperatures, air temperatures will still fall to lows of -1, but our wind chills, when you factor those in this afternoon, 5 to 10 degrees. We're going to fall again, similar to what you're seeing this morning, tomorrow morning. So Friday will still be a cold start, but we have improvement to talk about over the weekend and even into early to midweek next week. We are tracking a few systems, though, that could bring us a chance with the warm up of rain and snow. This is the first system, so through the weekend, winds are going to increase. It'll be breezy with winds gusting up to about 20 to 25 miles per hour. But then our first system, Monday into Tuesday, I think that one could dodge us and stay north of here. That one moves in from the northwest, but we have one that'll move in from our southwest then. That'll be mid to late week, this Wednesday, Thursday time frame. This is 8 p.m. Wednesday, so we could see a wintry mix across northern Illinois. That might ultimately stay to our south, but if the warm front does shift a little further north, that would bring this a little bit further up into southern Wisconsin. So that's our second chance. Our third chance then would come later, late Friday, late Thursday into Friday, potentially over Saturday too, and that would come as snow. You can see that system to our northwest. That would move in then Friday into Saturday. So we have a couple going forward. No chance sticks out really the most, and most models are showing those dodging us right now. But one thing for sure, it will warm up. We're looking still at these purples and that Arctic air moving in, but then we're going to see some improvement this afternoon. Yes, some were still below average, but then once you get to Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, those are going to be the warmest days. The blue actually moves back in, which technically is above average. Usually associate blue with cold, but we're actually going to be above average by about 10 or so degrees. So further improvement from what we'll see today and tomorrow. Saturday will be about 5 degrees only from average. We'll flip to an above average pattern Sunday, and then even forecasting the lower to mid 40s Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But like I said, with that warm up comes a chance for precipitation, that being rain and snow. And then Thursday into Friday could see that second system move in for southern Wisconsin.
Right now, life is good if you're Greg Gard. Before the season, his team was picked to finish 12th in the Big Ten, and like they usually do, the Badgers quietly went about their business, and now they currently sit third in the standings. Well, Tuesday night, they demolished Illinois by 21 points and have scored 90-plus points in back-to-back conference games for the first time since 1992. And while all that is neat, the guys say there's more work to be done.
We got a lot of guys that are just willing to buy in every day and just keep getting better, and I'm proud of our success lately, and I just think there's more room to keep improving.
When you have a hungry group that's unselfish, they want to keep climbing too, and we haven't done anything. We have to keep pushing forward, and we talked about climbing the mountain early in the year, and we're still climbing.
It was a big night for Greg Gard's brother Jeff as Platteville beat Whitewater to clinch a share of the WIAC title on Wednesday. But in the process, Logan Pearson became the first player in program history to reach 2,000 career points. It's a big weekend for the Wisconsin men's hockey team for a couple of reasons. It's their final series of the regular season where they're looking to snap a 6-game losing streak. And the Badgers will honor 6 seniors who will play their final home game of their careers on Saturday. And as Mike Hastings, well, he's all in for a senior day celebration, but he wants his guys to celebrate them in a different way.
If we want to honor those guys in the best way that we possibly can, it's to stay with them for as long as we can. And so that's to make sure that we play as deep into the season as possible. That's the best way to honor and show that group how we feel about them, right? Because that gives us another practice, another opportunity to be in the locker room with them.
And just a reminder to check out this week's Wisconsin Huddle with Lacey Eden. Show airs at 6:30 on Friday, right here on News 3 Now. And that's it for morning sports. Have a great day.
Still ahead, we'll have a special guest in studio.
And coming up in our next half hour, how new technology could alert people to active shooters more quickly than ever before.
Well, welcome back, everybody. This morning, we welcome Madison's first Black Poet Laureate, named in 2008 to 2012, Dr. Fabu Phyllis Carter. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm happy to be here.
I'm happy to have you here. Could you just tell us, what does it mean to be one of the first in Madison?
Well, it's a wonderful honor, and at the same time, you feel a little sad that you had to be the first, and 2012 is not so long ago. So the comfort it is, or for me, that there's a long line of poets, and that when you go through as the first, you open the door for others.
Yes, okay. Well, would you like to tell us a little bit about why the literary arts are so important, especially when it comes to culture and identity?
Well, the literary arts, we all have our way of expression in the world, and so literary arts allows us to use language in a more beautiful and more profound way. It also transmits culture and identity, which makes it equally as wonderful. And so, as a poet especially, it's not the most lucrative of all the literary arts, but it's definitely the most beautiful. And of course, I'm biased, but...
Well, we would love if you could share some of that beauty with us right now.
Thank you. So I wrote this as an original poem for today, and it's called Black History Month 2025. Carter G. Woodson, Black historian, in February 1926, set aside a week for African American historical facts to be publicly shared and celebrated. With proven evidence, we are not, nor have ever been, inferior. We gave and continue to give gifts to the world. In 99 years of continuous celebration, the week turned into a month. Black History Month to encompass more hidden, forgotten, or erased truths about Black people in Africa, North and South America, the Caribbean, and here in Wisconsin too. After almost 100 years of Black History Month, verified proof, too numerous to list, of our humanity, our love, and our resilience. As American citizens and neighbors, we find ourselves in 2025 with reversals of freedom, hard-won freedoms. We say today, we know who we are and will not let others forget.
All right, Dr. Fabu Phyllis Carter, thank you so much for sharing that with us this morning, and thank you so much for joining us this Black History Month. Folks, we will be right back, so stick around.
This morning, new bills on education, how your school could be impacted in evaluation, policies, and curriculum.
Plus, how new technology could alert people to active shooters more quickly than ever before.
Also this morning, stuck in the ice, how these cars ended up frozen to the road and the impacts on the workday. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to News 3 Now this morning on a Thursday. I'm Chris Stanford.
And I'm Kyrie Unley. Thanks for waking up with us this morning. One day closer to Friday and one day closer to some warmer temperatures, which we need because, yeah, like you said, it's just sucking all the energy out of it.
It is. It's draining.
Yeah.
It is. All that cold. Hurts your face.
Yes, it hurts everything.
Right. Let's check in with Savannah Brito. She does have a bit of a warm up for today and warmer temperatures in the forecast that are going to feel so nice.
Yes, the 40s, really looking forward to that, but we'll at least be near the 20-degree mark this afternoon. Most of us should achieve the lower 20s today and tomorrow. That'll still be about 10 degrees below average, but a lot better than what we have been tracking the last several days. And then much warmer by Sunday. That'll last into early to midweek next week before another brief cool down. With the warmer temperatures comes the next chance of precipitation. Overall, we'll be dry until then, but by Monday and Tuesday, so mid to early next week, we'll see that precipitation chance return to the forecast. But enjoy the 20s today. We're still waking up to sub-zero wind chills, but you know, they're closer to -5 than -35, which we had 2 days ago. So already a major improvement.
Yeah, looks like it. All right. Thank you, Savannah. At the state capitol this morning, new bills are advancing through the legislature that could reshape education in Wisconsin.
The legislation looks to reverse changes to school evaluation processes. This refers to changes the Department of Public Instruction made last year. Critics have argued the move makes comparing student outcomes year over year more difficult.
I know firsthand what it does to a community when that happens. We have to establish some oversight. This is a common sense, simple bill.
We should be investing in our schools. We should be investing in our children. What we have before us today in this bill and the other bills are political gamesmanship.
This bill is part of a package in the legislature related to education. Other bills include a statewide ban on cell phones in the classrooms. It would force districts to create cell phone policies, but they could make exceptions, like for emergencies or to manage a student's health. Another bill would mandate that schools teach cursive writing. A report by Education Week shows 24 states require that cursive be taught. The bill's passed along near party lines.
This all comes with the race for DPI superintendent in the backdrop. Brittany Kinzer and incumbent Jill Underly will face off in the general election in April. They finished top 2 in Tuesday's primary election.
School shootings are something no one ever wants to hear about, but there is some promising technology to avoid the worst outcomes. Shooter Detection Systems is the company behind this innovation. The Ithaca School District partnered with the company for a demonstration to see whether it's worth investing in. To test it, someone fired a gun in a safe location. The system almost immediately produced an alert of an active shooter. Richland County Sheriff Clay Porter shared his thoughts on the technology.
I certainly think it looks like a good product and a good program, and it seems like it's probably a good value for what they're offering us. I'm impressed by it.
The detection company says the system has a 99.9% accuracy rate, avoiding false alarms in their over 350 million operating hours. Each individual sensor costs about $800. Right now, the Ithaca School District is looking for ways to fund this technology.
A Racine couple sharing their story this morning of springing into action. It came after an explosion at their neighbor's home. The incident happened earlier this week. Tyler Lau and Stacy Kraft lived a couple of doors down from that home. Lau says that he helped pull a woman to safety just in time. And for both of them, the adrenaline is still racing.
The windows were all gone, and we immediately just started screaming to make sure everyone was safe, and there was 2 people still in there.
I go over to the side, and there's this old man standing on the side of the house. I run over there, and this lady was trying to get out. I pulled her out of that window.
The couple says the man and woman inside the home both suffered severe burns. The Racine Fire Department estimates about $200,000 worth of damage. The explosion also damaged some nearby homes.
6:34, take a look at this video here. Officials in Milwaukee say the freezing temperatures in recent days are to blame for a water main break. It left these cars stuck in the road under ice when the water froze. This happened on Tuesday, but some cars, as you can see, are still stuck. The city's Department of Public Works had been working to restore the main break, but by that point it had already interfered with people's days.
My first thought was, this could be quite a significant amount of people that live on this road that call in, for work today. Ain't nobody was going to get out of that.
It definitely sucks. Had to call into work. So did my partner. We can't really go anywhere.
Milwaukee Waterworks says crews have likely completed repairs.
And check this out. Milwaukee, not the only Midwest city dealing with a water main break. In the Illinois suburb of Skokie, they're under a state of emergency after a similar incident. It caused significant flooding like this. People there have gone under a boil water order for a few days now, and they are demanding answers.
Nobody came. We felt neglected. We felt hidden. It was getting scary.
It's very traumatic. My 81-year-old dad was out there trying to get the ice moved. My kids are now traumatized.
The village says a fitting cap on a 36-inch water main installed back in the 1960s is the reason for the mess.
In Monona, 2 people are facing charges in relation to a high-speed police chase. Police saw a vehicle going over 100 miles per hour early yesterday morning. Officers initially attempted to chase the vehicle, but were able to lay down spike strips. The car ran over them and eventually stopped at an apartment complex in Fitchburg. Officers then arrested the 2 people inside. The driver faces charges of a felony eluding and a probation violation. The passenger faces a charge of being a party to a crime.
6:36 now. The State Veterinary Board Committee is opening up an investigation into Ridgeland Farms. It comes after a Dane County judge ordered the appointment of a special prosecutor. They're looking into allegations of animal cruelty. Already, the DEA and DADCAP have searched the farm. The Veterinary Board Committee's investigation could lead to disciplinary action against 3 of Ridgeland's veterinarians.
The president of Dane for Dogs is reacting to the news in a statement reading, quote, "We are glad to see the Veterinary Examining Board upholding veterinarian standards, now adding potential veterinary misconduct to the growing list of problems at Ridgeland Farms. How many aspects of Ridgeland Farms operations need to be broken before DATCAT revokes its license to sell dogs?" The next meeting of the VEB will take place on March 11th.
A live look at the White House this morning. President Trump throwing his support behind House Republicans' budget proposal. That plan, comprised of 1 bill, would dramatically shrink Medicaid. That's the government health insurance program that serves tens of millions of low-income and disabled Americans. The president announced his endorsement of the plan hours after his first joint interview with advisor Elon Musk. We'll play you that in just a moment. In it, he comments on his plans for Medicaid. Senate Democrats, including Wisconsin's Tammy Baldwin, are also responding.
Other than this fraud or something, we're going to find it's going to be strengthened, but won't be touched. Medicare, Medicaid, none of that stuff is going to be touched.
Nothing. They are already lying about their plans and saying these cuts will be painless, only going after fraud and abuse. Well, let me be the first to say that these cuts will not be painless.
Meanwhile, GOP senators are working with Vice President J.D. Vance on a budget agreement.
The city of Madison is looking for contractors to work on the new Imagination Center. It's set to be built at Rindall Park on the city's northeast side. The city's engineering division says it asked bidders to submit the cost for what they can build. Applications are open until March 27th. The Imagination Center will be located off East Washington Avenue at Portage Road. The goal is to help merge city and library services. It will become the newest library branch in more than a quarter century. Construction is scheduled to begin this summer and be completed next summer.
All right. 6:38 coming up after the break. The latest on Badger football coach, head coach Luke Fickell's contract, what the future holds for him and the team.
And temperatures across Dane County right now all sitting at positive besides Stoughton. They're at -4. We'll talk about the warmer air that's in the forecast.
Plus, we're working for the weekend in the 608 this morning. I'll have 3 things to do just ahead.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
We're back talking about the Badgers. Head coach Luke Fickell is expected to remain a Badger through 2032. UW Athletics announcing a contract extension yesterday. Fickell took over as head coach of the football team after the 2022 season. He barely led the team to a bowl in his first season, and then last campaign he missed out on the postseason. Head coach has also made some staffing changes, including firing offensive coordinator Phil Longo. Jeff Grimes, who held the same position in Kansas, has taken over.
Let's check in now with meteorologist Savannah Brito, who's here now with your first warned weather to get you headed out the door. Good morning.
Good morning. The good news is we'll see sunshine. It's not going to be that breezy, but we still will have wind chills factored in. Nonetheless, a much better day around 10 a.m. 11 degrees after that chilly start, but we are up to a positive air temperature right now. Negative wind chills still, though. 2 p.m. 21, that's where we'll top out later this afternoon. I think a couple of us could see 22 or 23. That's more likely tomorrow. And then even warmer temperatures to round out the week and head into the weekend. Saturday and Sunday will be warmer. We're waking up to what feels like -6 in Madison, -19 in Monroe, -18 in Janesville, and -6 in Mineral Point. The good news is we'll see wind chills rise to positive digits today. Will be about 5 to 10 degrees, maybe a couple areas closer to 15, although I think that's more likely tomorrow. We'll still have wind chills factored in all day. And then tonight we'll wake up tomorrow morning with similar wind chills compared to what we are right now. Still forecasting those to get down to about -5 to -15, but that's much better than the last couple of days. And then tomorrow afternoon, this is the wind chill forecast around 3 p.m. showing most of the area at least 10 degrees. Some of us closer to 15 or maybe even a couple 20-degree temperatures, wind chills, and then temperatures themselves will make it into the lower 20s. And then beyond that, over the weekend, we're even warmer. 28, that's only 5 degrees off from where we should be, but we are going to see winds start to increase where gusts both days are going to be around about 20 to 25 miles per hour, maybe a couple areas closer to 32. And then 37 on Sunday, so even warmer temperatures. That's actually going to be above average, and those temperatures do look to stick around. But with the warm up, also is going to return our precipitation chances, not over the weekend. I think we steer clear of a couple systems, but into even early to midweek next week. Could still dodge these systems. This first one looks to stay and bring a bigger impact to our north. And then the next one, which is going to ride in from the southwest, looks like the better chance of rain is going to be well south of here. We could see a little bit of mixed precipitation from this, a rain, snow mix, maybe mixed in with some sleet as well. But even that one right now, if the warm front kind of stays where it's forecast to be, that would bring our best precipitation chances still south of the area across northern and central as well as southern Illinois, but we still could see that if that does take a more northerly track, get into southern Wisconsin and a little bit further north. The third system coming late in the week, that northwest of here, that would be snow for us. That one could bring a slightly higher chance, and that would be heading into the latter half of the week, Thursday night, and then into Friday, so towards the end of the 10-day forecast. But we are going to be a lot warmer during that time frame. 37 by Sunday. You saw that second half of the weekend forecast. Lower to mid 40s for everyone across southern Wisconsin through Wednesday. We'll cool down a little bit after a front does spark a couple chances for showers and cooler temps, but the upper 30s will still be a lot better than what we have seen.
Anything will be better than what we have been seeing these past couple of days. Indeed. Savannah, thank you. And if you want Savannah to plan your day, she'd love to do so. Just record a video, share your name and where you live, then send it our way. You can send it via our website, the First Warn Weather app, Facebook Messenger, or email. Then watch around this time every morning to see if you come on the air. Please send in those submissions.
6:45 Thursday morning, we talk about the weekends in the 608.
Our Josh Ryder is here now with your weekend planner. What you got for us?
Oh, I'm ready for the weekend. I don't know about you guys.
Oh my gosh, yes. Bring it on.
Yes.
Well, here we go. I got 3 things for you to do this weekend with your family if you're not a fan of winter, I know this brutally cold week has been a long one for some folks. Here's a sure sign spring is on the way. The Wisconsin Fishing Expo kicks off Friday, running through the weekend at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison. Show hours on Friday are 1 to 8, Saturday 9 to 7, and Sunday 9 to 4. Admission is $12 for adults, and kids 12 and under are free. The Wisconsin Fishing Expo is among the largest fishing consumer shows in the Midwest. Well, if you're still thinking winter, head to Paoli on Saturday or Sunday afternoons to get festive and frolic at 7 Acre Dairy's first winter carnival. Tickets for adults there are $10. It's $7 for kids, and those 3 and under are free. This ticket includes live music, a petting zoo, outdoor activities, polar dips, sauna, and a hot cocoa bar. There will be other things to purchase, too, to support local businesses. And a portion of those proceeds will also benefit Belleville EMS, who will be hanging out with families and talking about their important work. Finally, happening Saturday afternoon from noon to 4, you can snack your way through downtown Sunny P. They're back for another delicious year of celebrating 2 favorites, chocolate and cheese. Yummy. Enjoy samples of sweet and savory treats served at various downtown Sun Prairie businesses. Organizers say this is a great way to explore and support the community. Tickets are limited, so get yours before they're gone. They run $20.
Oh.
Yeah, isn't that great? For more ideas this week in the 608, just go to channel3000.com. A little bit of something for everyone. And of course, winter lovers with the forecasts might want to get out and enjoy that snow because it's probably not going to be sticking around much into next week.
No, after that warm up next week in the 40s, might be seeing that just slowly disappear.
Lots of melting. At least we were able to enjoy it for a little bit.
Yeah, multiple days.
And we needed the moisture, so there's some positives.
Sure do. Weekend looking real nice.
It is.
Maybe head to Paoli. All right, Josh, thanks. Josh is always looking for inspirational stories to share with you. If you have an idea, reach out and let him know about it. News 3 Now, we continue to celebrate Black History Month by highlighting people in our community. And this morning, we're stepping into a barbershop.
For the Black community, getting a haircut is more than 30 minutes in a chair. It's an experience. Our Jalen Banks shares the story.
The Barbershop. On the surface, it's just a place for you to go get your haircut. But for many in the Black community, it plays a much larger role. I spent the afternoon in one Sun Prairie barbershop speaking with its owner on what this place symbolizes for so many. You step into a barber shop and you are embraced with the buzzing of clippers, the smell of sprays, and countless conversations.
I think it plays a major role, especially in the Black community, because barbershops is a place where it's a safe haven.
The importance of this safe haven has grown so popular that it's been portrayed on both the big and small screens, with MGM's The Barbershop and HBO's The Shop.
Miles Garrett told me something. He said, "What makes Aaron Donald the best?"
Both highlighting the role of the Black barbershop.
I think it's big. For me, in my experience as a client and as a barber, I learned a lot going to barbershop, you know. You can sit down in a barbershop and learn about relationships, about business, about what's going on with the economy, politics, all type of thing.
Even I had the opportunity to hop in the chair. All right, in the chair.
Jalen, don't let Jalen fool you. He don't play by his haircut.
He's right. I don't. And now that we're in the midst of Black History Month, how does this month, you know, it comes around every year. How does it influence you and encourage you?
Black History Month makes people want to go even more harder because it was a lot of people that before I came alive or been here that fought for me to have what I have now.
And in the end, when you step out of the barbershop, you leave with not only a fresh cut, but a community. Reporting in Sun Prairie, Jalen Banks, News 3 Now.
And if you want to see the other Black History Month stories that we have covered this month, you can head over to our website, channel3000.com. Plenty there.
A lot of coverage. Everybody has been doing such a phenomenal job with the Black History Month coverage this month. Now I know who's responsible for Jalen's
the man
sharp
behind
haircut.
the cut. Yeah.
There it is.
And he takes it very seriously, as you can see.
Love it.
All right. Well, coming up for the morning sprint, the Wisconsin University closing its doors permanently.
If you have a little kiddo turning 3 soon, send us a picture. We'll show it on TV. We're back with the sprint right after this. 6:54, time for the morning sprint.
Transgender girls can no longer compete in high school girls sports in Wisconsin. The WIAA voted to comply with new federal directives. The decision follows similar action by the NCAA earlier this month. The WIAA does not keep a tally of transgender athletes, so it's unknown how many students will be affected.
At the state capitol, some new bills advancing to the legislature that could reshape education in the state. A package of bills passed the assembly. One would restore school evaluation standards from the beginning of the year. The Department of Public Instruction had lowered the standards in 2024. The bills passed largely along party lines.
In Monona, 2 people are facing charges in relation to a high-speed police chase. Police saw a vehicle going over 100 miles per hour early yesterday morning. Officers initially attempted to chase the vehicle, but they were able to lay down spikes, which the car ran over before stopping. Officers then arrested the 2 people inside.
State Veterinary Board Committee opening up an investigation into Ridgeland Farms veterinarians. It comes after a Dane County judge ordered the appointment of a special prosecutor. They're looking into allegations of animal cruelty. In addition, both the DEA and DATCAP searched the farm earlier this month.
Northland College in Wisconsin is shutting its doors in May. The school's board of trustees voted unanimously to close the college due to declining enrollment and soaring cost. Northland has been struggling financially since March 2024. It cut staff and limited academic offerings to help offset cost, but the board said it no longer sees a sustainable path forward.
A trial date is set for the man accused of killing a UW Whitewater gymnast. A 12-person jury trial for Chad Richards will begin in December. Richards is charged with first-degree intentional homicide. He allegedly shot and killed Kara Welsh 8 times in August of last year. Richard faces life in prison as a maximum penalty.
Well, 22 will be our high today. We're a far cry from that right now. A lot of the area dealing with sub-zero wind chills. Our air temperatures, though, are finally off to a positive note across most of southern Wisconsin. A few areas west and northwest of Madison cooler than that. We're down to -1 again tonight, but then we'll see gradually improvement in lows and daytime highs. Looking forward to Sunday when temperatures will be on the cusp of 40.
Nice.
Yes, improvements. Yeah. That's all we need to see, just improvement.
I know, that needs to continue for a while
yes,
until we get
does.
to spring, right?
Yes, I agree with you there. Savannah, thank you.
Stick around, we'll have a news and weather update in 30 minutes.